I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
Hey guys, hope you all are doing great. I have been okay, and so today we're going to do a sit down. My name is Mudhami Jenga, by the way, for the ones who do not know me. And thank you for the subscriptions, thank you for the comments, thank you for the love that you guys have been showing, and also you guys reaching out on my socials, and I'm glad interacting with you guys. So welcome to this family, and continue subscribing if you haven't. I can see like only like 35% of you who are watching have subscribed, and a whole like 70% have not yet subscribed. So if you haven't, kindly subscribe to my channel and let's do this. So today I'm going to be answering a question that has been asked so many times by so many of you, how I came to Canada and pathways that people use to come to Canada and how you can settle here. I'll start by the most, I'd say the best way to come here, and one that is going to be smooth, but the only thing is that it's an expensive route, but it's one of the easiest. It's just like applying for a green card in the US, but here we call it express entry. And you apply for express entry, and it requires you to have a lot of qualifications. I hope you're not going to be hearing that plane. Anyway, it requires a lot of qualifications, from school, degrees, financially, if you have a family, your age as well, and like one of the specific kind of degrees that you've done. So it's really important before you start looking for pathways to immigrate here. Look, for example, if you want to move here through a job, look for, or through the express entry, look at the most I'd say the most marketable courses over here, or the most careers that are very marketable over here. There are some that literally the country is at a shortage of people to work in those specific fields. Mostly it's agriculture, IT, and although IT is not like quite short of people, because lately the immigrants have most people have really moved here, and I'd say there's a good number of people here. But anything in the medical field, you're good to go. And also a bit of like mechanics, I don't know how to call that kind of job, anything to do with mechanics, plumbing, and a bit of construction. And also I talked of farming, that is anything to do with environmental cultivation and all that stuff. So also before like selecting where to move, cities like, or provinces like Ontario, Vancouver, that is British Columbia, they have so many people already right now. Just check the provinces that are short of people and they need people to migrate there. It's going to be easier for you. Provinces that do not have very high population of people, a little bit of noise, yeah. So it's nice to always check the provinces that do not have a very big population, and it's easier, and you'll find an easy way of settling, and also like documentations won't take a very long time. That's one thing. The only, or the best thing that I'd advise anyone who's looking to migrate here in Canada is do your due diligence, do your research, make sure you search and see, because there are some careers that already have an overflow of people, and you'd move here, you have a degree and everything, but you'll not get a job because there is an overflow of the people that are already here. So like I was saying, there are careers that already have a very big overflow of people, and you might even have to, once you move here, you might have to try and go back to school and start a whole new career, because the one that you probably had worked through already has a influx of so many people. Anything like admin, office, customer service, there's so many people. But there are some fields like hospitality, they do still need more people. And which other field? There was hospitality, medicine, that is nursing, caregivers and all that. There's always need for medical career people or people who work in the medical field. There's always need of that. And so yeah, that's about express entry. Mostly they check on your careers, your ages, if you have a family. It's always very easier for you if you have a family, because it gives you more points. And if you know the kind of province you want to move to, and you have a career that has shortage of the has people shortage in that specific province, like you select, for example, you want to do like nursing, or you're into agriculture, or you're into construction or mechanics, anything of the sort, and then you select, you've seen like a province like Saskatchewan, and you decide you want to move to Saskatchewan. Select, and you just write in your details you want to move to Saskatchewan, and probably you've done your research before then and seen that Saskatchewan needs mechanics, because there are not so many mechanics in Saskatchewan. This is just an example. And once you put in your application, and the people who are going through the application, and probably some representatives in Saskatchewan see your what do you call, your application, and they realize you're a mechanic, and oh, they will have a shortage of mechanics in here and would like you to move here, they'll write you a letter to invite you to the province. That already bumps up your points to like 600. If a province specifically invites you, that's a provincial nomination, and that province requests you to move to their province, which bumps up your points more. Age is also a number, and if you're a bit older, it serves you right. If you have like degree, you have kids, you have like each and everything is always like there to bump up your points. And so that's about it about the express entry. But the most thing that I'd say, do your due diligence, do your research, and make sure you know what you're applying to. Also, the people who move here through LMIA, I've heard about it. I've not met someone personally who's moved here through LMIA, but I've heard people get LMIA. Like I said, look for those jobs that are really required here, and in order for an employer to give you an LMIA, to sponsor you and write, I'd like to sponsor, for example, Mudhani to move here, they'll have to prove to the government of Canada that they cannot completely find people in Canada to fill that position. That is why they've taken an extra step to find someone like Mudhani outside of Canada to come and fill this position. So it's a very long pathway, and it's a very difficult pathway, but once you have the suited career, you have the qualifications, and you find an employer, that's it. There are these jobs in job bank. First of all I'd say is look at the kind of careers that need more people, need as many people as possible. They say that they have shortages here in Canada, they cannot find people to fill those positions. Look for those careers. Once you find them, apply to that, and mostly in the job bank, or move here with, probably get a visitor visa, come here. When you have those qualifications and you know this kind of career needs people in this particular province or in this particular place, apply for the jobs then. By then, you only have a period of 6 months as a visitor to be able to get an employer. If you don't get one within the 6 months, you can either apply for an extension or go back home and then come back again. That's a very tricky part, because right now I hear they've closed the pathway that you just come in and get a work permit with a visitor visa. But if you have a career that, for example, they need people in that field, well, you might be lucky, because you might find an employer who would probably give you an LMIA. But I have not met employers who give the LMIAs, because I've had people who have asked me like if I can connect them to such people. I don't have such kind of connections. I've not met those people, so this is always a game of chance. Sometimes you try your luck, you find it, you try your luck, you don't find it. It's just different for everyone. People ask me, how did you come to Canada? I moved here with a visitor visa. How did I switch my visitor visa to start working and start settling in? I'll just give a very brief reason how I settled in. I decided to seek asylum for reasons I will not share. That's just something very personal. I'm not going to share why, but that's what I did, and that's that. You can also come in as a visitor and decide to, maybe you've met someone, you guys have fallen in love and you want to get married. That also gives you spousal sponsorship, and your spouse can sponsor you here and for you to settle down. And you can either meet someone outside of Canada, here, like for example, there are these dating sites. Just, you can find someone, there are people who are willing to marry from outside and bring someone here, or you just move here, come in, get into the dating site and start dating people, going out with people, and probably you might find you one person who's going to take you in and going to marry you. So that's that. And I think I've talked about most of them. The work, the LMIA, I talked about the LMIA one, the provincial nomination. That's part of what there is in the express entry. Now there's that spousal sponsorship. That is, if you have someone who you guys are dating and they choose to marry you and you get to move here. That's another one. And there is also education, coming in as a student. And another thing, don't just come in here and just take any course. Look at the courses that need people here in Canada, because we've had a very big influx, or the country has had a very big influx of students that are coming in and just taking courses and settling in here, and they are now feeling like they have too many students over here and they are not like bringing any value to the country. And if you've seen the news, or if you've seen the reports that are coming in, they're trying to reduce the amount of students who are coming in, or even take them back to their countries. Like once you study, once you're done, you go back to your country. And it's a very, very expensive pathway. But I'd say if you want to come in as a student, look for something that can keep you here. A course that can keep you here. Nursing, anything in the medical field, anything in the engineering field, like for example, mechanics, construction, the oil field. There is a lot of oil in Canada, and there are very big courses that pay you so good when you like venture into the oil and I'd say the geophysicist field, oil and gas field. That can keep you here, because those jobs are always looking for people to hire. A bit of construction, the plumbing thingy, we always have a lot of construction going on in the country. Just look for, before you come in here, probably as a student, look for those courses that really need people, because you don't want to get here, do your course, and then next thing you're told, we don't need people in this field, you can just go back to your country, probably will help people there. If your plan was to come here, study and settle in, look for a course that is going to help you settle in here. And I think that's about it. There are so many other pathways. Most of them you can just go to the Canadian immigration website and just look through, read through, and see how you can settle in here and all that stuff. But the only thing that I'd say, the only way you can be able to settle in here very well is, for example, if you're coming through school, through jobs, and all through, for example, express entry, always look for what they need in the country. That is the only way that they're going to let you settle in, or that is the only way you're going to be able to settle in here. If you do not have those specific courses that they need here, it will be really hard for you to secure a position or secure papers of how to settle in here. Otherwise, that's that. Thank you so much for watching. Last week we didn't have a video. I wasn't able to post this week. I'm gonna be posting this one. And if you have any more questions, please you can just ask. And I think the next couple of days, or the next couple of months, we're going to have a bit of sit down. That's what I prepared.
Set
a
your
bit of sit downs,
affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do,
that's
the
about it.
aftermath
So
of preparation.
let me see you
Good
on the
food,
next
good
video. Thank you
mood,
so
blood
much
in
for watching.
circulation. One step
Subscribe if you
at a
haven't,
time, yeah, that's
and
how
let
you
me see you on
make
the
it.
next video.
Set a goal
Bye
you
guys.
control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have